Hello and welcome, my fellow spectators, gladiators, and warriors. It is the Christmas season, and thus it is time for some Christmas gains. We're weighing in at 201.4 pounds this week. Welcome to another episode of Awakening Hercules.
Just got out of the gym, gonna update you guys on my back workout progress, but no updates on the leg progress this episode because the first week I was starting to feel a little bit of a tweak in my lower back, so I was doing high reps and then I decided just to cut it out. And then this week I am kind of fighting a cold, and when I hit hard ass leg days, that's when I make sure I get a cold the next day, so I'm just avoiding it. For back rows this week, I'm using 220 pounds for 12 reps, and the thing with this one is I'm really trying to connect with my lats because I do have a little tiny bit of a tweak in my forearm. So instead of kind of going on automatic mode, and you kind of generally start to really push and pull with your arms, your forearms, your biceps and stuff. Right now, I'm trying to create like a hook in my mind to my lats. Honestly, it's really kind of hard to explain, but basically I'm just trying to make the movement entirely lats, and it's working really well, and my strength has gone up quite a bit. I'm feeling so good with my strength lately because just 2-3 months ago, I was doing only 115 pounds on this row because my shoulder was hurting. Now I'm kind of taking it a little bit more safely, and also I'm using those rehabilitation exercises, and it's helping my shoulder a lot, so I'm able to really pound the weights on these back days. So this is what the PT has told me. Basically everything that I was worried about is exactly what's happening, and the things that I'm already doing are basically the right things. He just defined them a lot more clearly and more professionally. So basically I have a bit of internal rotation of the humerus, which is caused by tight pecs, tight front capsule of the shoulder, tight serratus anterior, so stretching all of those constantly. Also, I have a bit of a weaker external rotation, especially on my right side, so he wants me to strengthen that up via external rotations. He wants me to strengthen my lower traps and my rhomboids by doing a lot of different exercises, but like the Y floor presses, so basically just letting my shoulder blade come all the way out and then pulling my arm up, but mostly just thinking about pulling my shoulder blade back and tightening my shoulder blade into a depressed position. And then, believe it or not, he wants me to do one arm seated dumbbell presses over my head, really concentrating on keeping that shoulder in proper position and also making sure that it doesn't hurt. But he wants me to start with 20 to 30 repetitions using a very light weight and then progressively move the weight up, still failing in that 20 to 30 rep range, but as long as there is no pain. So he gave me a list of stretches. Mostly he wants me to do the sleeper stretch over and over again. He wants me to hold it as long as I can hold it. He wants me to do it as often as I can. I will keep you guys updated with my progression as I go, and at the end of all this whole entire shoulder rehab and stuff, I will make a full video that just kind of gives you the ultimate look of everything. But basically stretching out the tight muscles in the front of my body here, strengthening the muscles that are pulling my shoulder blades into proper depression and rotation, and then stretching my rotator cuff because that is an extremely tight muscle. Hopefully all these things kind of progress and make it better for me, and I am seeing him in 3 weeks, so then we will have another update of whether it's gotten better or worse or if it's just the same. So one of the stretches that the doc wants me to do is called a sleeper stretch. It's super simple, and it's supposed to stretch your rotator cuff, your supraspinatus muscle. And let me show you how bad the tightness is in my shoulder. You're just supposed to put your elbow straight in front of your shoulder. You're supposed to lay onto your scapula on top of your lat a little bit forward, and then you're just supposed to crank down your arm like this. That's all. And you'll feel it stretch in the back of your shoulder. But the doctor showed me what a regular stretch should look like. A person usually can stretch to about this angle right here, how my left forearm is off my elbow. I'm at 18 degrees, and I'm supposed to be able to do 45 degrees. So I'm almost 3 times less flexible than I should be. See, I should be able to get my arm down here. This week I've been making a push to eat a little bit more whole foods. So right here I have a big ass plate of julienne carrots. Just kidding, I actually don't know what julienne means. I got green beans here, I got a whole onion. I have some garlics mixed in there somewhere. I didn't mince it quite yet. I've got some mushrooms, and I have a little bit of some tempeh right here just for some protein. I seasoned this with a little bit of lemon and lime juice. Usually I put a little soy sauce, but not this time. And then over here, I microwaved my potato. This is my patented thing. I'm gonna make a video about this, but I microwaved my potatoes here and then finished them off in the pan. So they already got warm and mushy, but then I made them nice and crispy on the outside. Right now I'm aiming to try to get around 3,500, maybe 3,600 calories. As I'm getting more size and as I'm lifting more weights, I'm realizing my body getting much hungrier with the same amount of foods, which is great. That just means we need to add more foods in, and we're gonna get a bigger pump, we're gonna get a bigger return on all the gains, and it's gonna be real, real good. Hit them with that beautiful shot they weren't expecting to see. That's the strategy right now, baby. So I just got back from the gym. I'm in my backyard and I have these tangerines growing. I didn't notice they were so robustly filled out on this tree until just now. Do you guys have any fruit trees in your backyards or where you live? Because I never really appreciated it until I got a little bit older, but having so many freaking different types of fruits to eat is amazing. Like on the trees behind me, I have juicing oranges, and then I have eating oranges, and then behind that, you can't see it, but on the fence, there's actually passion fruit growing. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, I wanted to update you guys on my cardio, which is kind of weird, right? Because we're bulking. I don't relatively usually do cardio, but doing a little bit of cardio is so beneficial for your weight training because you're gonna be able to uptake more oxygen per breath, meaning that you're going to endure more reps until you fatigue because you can get more oxygen into your muscles and blood. All that being said, to say this, I am doing about 10 to 15 minutes of cardio either before or after my weight training. I do it before my chest days and I do it after my leg days and my back days for different reasons. And what it does for me is obviously it increases my cardiorespiratory and cardiovascular strength, but also it warms my body up and kind of gets me mindful of what's going on. And for some reason, when I do it before I hit chest days, it makes my shoulder hurt quite a bit less. So I'm doing about 10 to 15 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. I'm not doing it every single workout. Bit of a throwback from 2013. I just wanted to show you guys an exercise in this episode that I really like that's kind of different. This is an incline dumbbell row. All you're going to do is find a bench or a chair that you can use with your non-rowing hand and just row. Basically, it's a dumbbell Yates row. You're kind of standing, kind of bent over. It might look a little bit weird. It might look a little bit easy, but it's allowing you to use slightly heavier weight than you would with a full bent over row, and you're able to really pack on the muscle and find a good contraction with this. Try it out.
So that brings us to the end of the weeks.
Ha, I'm feeling good, and hopefully almost every episode I'm saying I'm feeling good, but I really am feeling good because I've been able to put a good amount of weight on in a consistent fashion too. I'm not putting massive amounts of weight on. Like I've told you guys before, in the beginning few weeks and months of a bulk, I tend to put a lot of weight on, and then it slows down because the initial gain of weight is usually like water and glycogen and salt, all sorts of stuff like that. Now we're gonna see me gaining about 1 to 2 pounds every episode. As you guys saw in this episode, there was quite a bit of emphasis on the shoulder and just in general injury repair, stretching, things like that. That has definitely been a very forefront priority for me in the last 2 weeks, is really making sure that I am doing my rehab for my shoulder. Something that I do want to do in future episodes, and I really want to put emphasis on this, is at least 1 exercise per episode. I just break it down, I show you guys it. It's something that maybe you haven't seen before, maybe it's a superset you haven't seen before. Really just anything that's a single thing you can try that you have never maybe seen before, and that I can kind of demonstrate and show you guys. That way that it can bring a little bit extra value to these episodes as well. As you saw in the food scene, I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier. I'm trying to make sure that my acne is staying away, and I'm also trying to make sure that the weight that I'm putting on is good weight. It's not fat because I'm being kind of lazy or whatever, and I feel like I've done a pretty decent job of that. I also have a very limited deadline until YouTube House, and then a few other things, like me and Kurt are going to be doing a West Coast tour, which is going to be really freaking cool. But I'm trying to get as much size before those events as possible, because obviously I will not be able to put quite as much attention into my own bodybuilding during those situations, because I'm going to be pretty attention driven. Anyways guys, that brings us to the end of the episode. I have some very important news to tell you, not in this video, but hopefully in the very next video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I really enjoy making this series specifically. It's so much fun. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. It helps me a ton with new Hercules things that are coming. Now that I'm back to the brown with just sprinkled little white frosted tips, hopefully I can bring you guys some amazing progression in the next episode of Resurrecting Hercules.